August 22nd, for all of you on all the different platforms. I have a wonderful guest on, Rick Hassler. He is the founder, along with his two sons, for Nature's Frequencies, which is the products that I use to protect myself from 5G and dirty electricity, because there's so many other nefarious ways that they're zapping us and zapping our energy. And so he's going to go into a lot about that, and I'm going to have him introduce himself. We have a few clips that we're going to also go throughout the show, and I'm going to watch for your comments on Rumble, and he'll be able to also see your comments on Facebook. Now, let me just say this. I've gotten word that when you're being kicked off, it's because they're messing with my show. If that happens, you want to go over to Rumble, and I'm going to start off showing you guys how to do that and where to find me. So you're going to go to Rumble, all this paper here, and look for Third Culture Patriot. And when you get here, click on that main and you'll see that tonight's show there. So be sure to do that, because they're really starting to mess with me. And it's actually comical, but only if you have a sense of humor. All right, Rick. So introduce yourself.
I am. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm Rick Hassler. I work with my sons, and we are inventors. We hold 6 U.S. patents. Our company's Nature's Frequencies. We've been doing it for 10 years. I work with my sons. I'm a lucky dad, and we make products to help people. And our biggest thing is we have a patent that actually says in it, and it's been accepted by the government, that we can offset the negative effects of EMF. And EMF, 4G, 5G is just getting worse for everybody. And as we talk about it, you'll see a lot more. But that's a little bit about us.
Okay, perfect. So I guess the first thing I want you to do is tell us a little bit how this company came about. I want the story about your son when you thought he was going to be snatched off the street. So start from the beginning.
My son Michael is a genius, and he was like 21 years old. He was invited to a conference in Lyon, France, and I'm like, "You're not going to Lyon, France." And I had pictures of me holding up a picture. Have you seen this kid? So I got invited. I said, "Get me invited, and then you can go." So he did. So I went to the conference, and it was on Tesla, and we met the smartest people on the planet there. I met a doctor that we still talk to that has 3 doctorates, and she teaches in London, and she's a pharmacologist, an MD. She's incredibly smart, and she gave us a bunch of frequencies to help start our products. So that kind of started us on the right foot. And we've been friends ever since. So it all started with my son.
Okay, so then you decided you really like this technology, and you purchased all this equipment that was based on Nikola Tesla.
I had ran a company, office equipment company, sold it to Kyocera after 25 years and retired. So it kind of came up the perfect time. I own the building that we work in, so the kids wanted a place to work. I was bored. What do you do when you're young? And I got tired of building houses and putting additions on every end of my house. My wife says, "You got to do something. You're going to kill somebody." So I work with my kids, and whatever they needed, Daddy helped them. But I get to work with my kids.
Awesome. Okay, so what I want to start with now is a video you guys sent, and we're going to kind of go piece by piece.
Okay.
Because everyone's getting affected. We have all kinds of symptoms. I mean, what do we have?
Lethargic,
brain
fog. A lot of people, lethargic. That and brain fog are the 2 biggest things we hear constantly. And if anybody wants to know if EMF is affecting you, when you open up your laptop and you go to connect, like, look how many Wi-Fi connections you have. I'm on an island. I have a satellite dish, and I have to use my phone because my satellite dish has a delay. I have no Wi-Fi that can connect except when I turn my dish on. But if Cynthia, in the middle of her city, you probably have 20 different Wi-Fis you can connect to. Every single one of them is hitting you. All right. And it's 5G, 4G. You're just getting a mishmash. And RJ, my other son, it lives in Boston. He has 22 in a high rise that hits. So it's not just yours, it's everybody else's. And if you can connect to it, it's a signal that's affecting your body. And that's really the hard part. You're not living in the woods anymore.
Right. Well, they made sure of that, didn't they? And if you are, they're going to beat you out of the bushes with a few fires. But that's another story. All right, let's start with this one.
There is a silent killer. You can't see it, smell it, or taste it. It is invisible and is present all day and even while you sleep. It wears down our immune system, accelerates the aging process, causing discomfort and a number of life-threatening diseases, including cancer. As we embrace the rapid advancement of technology, we expose ourselves even more. Our bodies become weakened by the harmful frequencies of cellular 4G, 5G, and other cell-damaging electromagnetic fields known as EMF in all of our electronic, portable, and household appliances. Everywhere you go, buildings, hospitals, outdoors, your home, you are exposed, vulnerable, you are being invaded. Cancer has been on the rise. Just in the U.S. alone, in 2022, over 1.9 million new cases were diagnosed, and over 609,000 deaths were cancer-related. 1 in every 3 people are expected to have cancer in their lifetime. Why? These EMF frequencies weaken our cells, penetrating and invading deep into the mitochondrial cellular level, the heart of our cells. After years of exposure and no protection, the body becomes unbalanced and weakened. Cells die, we get sick, and the quality of our lives diminished. Cellular use takes your immune system down. 5G makes it exponentially worse.
There's over 500 published studies that show that EMF damages physiology.
These are concerns.
We're surrounded in signals.
I think it's the root cause of a lot of cancers.
3G, 4G, now 5G is coming to a suburb near you.
It is a big health issue and it's only going to get worse.
Okay. So
basically, the real thing you got to understand is it weakens your immune system. And we have numerous doctors that'll tell you that we've got a whole health advisory, and you've talked to most of them and know them. No one's going to say that it doesn't weaken your immune system. And you need your immune system. Like, it helps you. It helps every cell in your body. And if you weaken a part of a cell, is it going to function as well? So you really need everything functioning the best to stay healthy. Once your immune system comes down, and then you get into chronic stress, and chronic stress gives you problems, and that's kind of where you're at. And it's only getting worse. So
right.
That's really the deal.
So my audience knows I've played some of the latest findings from Dr. Mihalchea, and how she's talked about how we are all now infected with nanotech. Well, nanotech's an antenna, and it's being activated. So more than ever, we need to have something to offset these bad frequencies. So can you explain, before you do that, I want you to explain how hard it is to get a patent. speak more about your patents, because a lot of people out there are going patent pending, or this is patented, or a lot of these EMF products out on the market. They're making all these claims.
Right.
And
Okay. Let's start with
Go
a patent. I can be patent pending tomorrow and file a patent. Getting it is a whole different story. Okay. Getting a patent, you have to go back and forth with your lawyer and the patent office, and it takes years to get it. Then you have to pay to keep it up. We have 6 that have been accepted, and we probably started these about 9 years ago. And again, our company's been in business 10 years. A lot of these people come up, you know, some people told me, well, this company just came out with a new product and they're claiming this and this and this. No. You know, you don't just walk into frequencies and figure out what you're doing. We're really good at it. And for 10 years, we've been doing it. So it is not easy to get a patent, believe me. And to get something accepted that says we can offset the negative effects of EMF is huge. We do not block EMF, just so everybody understands. There's a thing called a Faraday cage. We actually have one in our office, and that's got copper in it and wires, and you can build a Faraday cage. That's a blocker. You can also, there's carbon fiber, like boxes that go on phones. That's a blocker, all right? And that'll block it. But if you block a signal, then you have no signal. So, and you can't, Cynthia, you can't block. If you look on your computer, you're in the middle of a city. You've got 20, you can't block their signals. You're going to get hit by it.
A few 5G towers nearby,
right?
Too.
And you know how many in my town in the mainland, we have a 5G tower is now our water tower, and I'm like, you know, guys, you're kidding me. You know, water. Like let it doesn't get worse than that. Don't you see a water tower covered? You're like, no. Anyways, you need something that can offset it. So your body, that last picture that you had was really pretty cool. That was ahead. We got Australia tests every product and wants to debunk everything, just the way Australia is. Well, somebody gave our EMF shield to the news, and the people did a test in a lab. And I don't know if you can show the picture. Not even.
Okay, before we go there, I'm going to show the picture.
Yeah, the picture's really pretty cool because we had nothing to do with it. If you look on the left, that's your head with, on the left, that's your head with how the red goes up. That's temperature increase. This is thermography testing. On the right is a phone with an EMF shield. Now, Australia tested it in 10 minutes, and that was a difference. The announcer goes, the results were jaw-dropping. He goes, my ear wasn't hot, it was red hot. Now, we've also been tested in a lab. Your head goes up 1.55 degrees without, on a 3-minute call, without an EMF shield. With it, it goes up 0.08. Why is that good for you? Well, what happens is your ear in your body gets the EMF. It doesn't like it, so it sends blood. The blood gets coagulated, and blood's supposed to go through capillaries, but it gets coagulated, so it gets stuck. And your body goes to fight or flight, so it sends more blood. That's why you see the picture on the left. We have dark field microscope where it shows the blood separates. When the blood separates, it goes right through the capillary, and your blood flows the way it's supposed to. When your blood flows the way it's supposed to, your body gets oxygen. Oxygen makes your cells and everything good. So the blood flow is what you see is the green. And that's just on, this is on a 10-minute call, but we can reduce the temperature in a lab 94% in your hand and in your head, which was really pretty cool. But anyways, that's thermography testing.
So one of the things you said was that it didn't just cool off because he no longer had the phone on his ear. The
Correct.
shield cooled his head off. Is that correct?
It's not the shield cooling the head. It's we offset the negative effects. So instead of the blood coagulating, all right, and not going through the capillaries, if you ever look at it in dark field, it's called rule. The blood's all strung up, and a capillary is made to go for a single cell. With our cell, it separates it, so all the cells are single cells, and they go right through the way they're supposed to. So That's what it's doing. We can offset the negative effect of the phone so your body functions the way it's supposed to. And that's what we're really good at, making your body function the way it's supposed to.
Okay, so let's go into detail about the earthing card.
Okay.
And I have one right here. So this is the earthing card. I wear it all the time.
Time out. I have the original. This is the earthing card. You have
I like your new one because it's green.
and EMF, we added more EMF and 5G protection in yours. I have the OG, the original earthing card. You have the EMF shield and earthing card. It's wild. This is the coolest thing. And I tell people, they're like, you can do a muscle test, but you can just stand up like this, twist, okay? And then put the card in your hand. You'll twist further, like 20%. It works every time. Dr. Stan tested this, and he goes, no, it's not a parlor trick. It works. Your body functions better if you can offset the negative effects of EMF. Plus, this has earthing, 783, the Schumann resonance. And right now, the Schumann resonance is going up, down. It's kind of funky. But earthing is really important. And how many people really walk on the beach? I got a beach right there. I walk on it barefoot all the time. But, you're in a city. Earthing is really good. This is like earthing. And just keeping it in your pocket, you're going to feel better.
Explain why earthing is good.
Your body functions at 783. And earthing is, I can't stress enough. Everything good happens at 7.83. Everything.
Okay, so hang on for a second. If our body functions at 7.83, so according to Tim Coleman, we are not functioning at 7.83 right now. What is the 5G doing to us to keep us from functioning at 7.83?
There's a lot of different frequencies coming out. Somebody said they're reading 5 megahertz is getting put out. So you got to be careful. Like, frequencies are very strong, and the lower ones are the ones that are really not good for you. Like, you really don't want to go.
Hold that thought on the lower ones. Okay, so they've messed with our frequencies. We're no longer operating at a 7.83. What does it cause? What are the symptoms that not operating at a 7.83? What does that cause?
Your body doesn't function as well. You're going to be lethargic.
That's where we get the lethargy. That's where we get the anxiety.
And you and I have cards on us all the time. I'm a tennis pro and a pickleball pro, and I play about 5 hours and teach about 5 hours a day, and I love it. And I am not tired. I would never play tennis without one of these in my right pocket. My tennis balls go in my left. But you understand, we have energy, and lethargic isn't part of it doesn't happen. But, we have some helpful tips.
So maybe that's why I'm riding it in 111 degree heat.
Right.
I'm riding my
hill on your bike.
11. People are like, you're crazy. I'm like, I can take the heat. Well, heck, maybe it's the darn card I'm wearing.
Keep it in your pocket.
Oh, I have it on a belt, and I actually wear 4 because I don't want to get hit by their bad frequencies. So they can target us all the time, all day long. Okay, so once you have one of these on, what happens?
Your body just it functions better, because you can offset the negative effects. Your blood's going to be flowing better everywhere.
Explain offset.
It offsets it, so you're not going to get the coagulating blood. You're going to get more oxygen to your body. It's just beneficial. We have heart rate variable test, and you saw all the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's 10 different charts. Your body functions like 80% better on some of these tests just after 5 minutes of holding the card. And these are doctors doing HRV testing. We're in a clinical trial with 40 doctors in the card, and the results are phenomenal, like huge, with HRV testing. Heart rate variable testing can tell you stress to the body. It has like 10 different charts. I think you've seen it, Cynthia. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
It shows you before and after, and your body is just, it's harmonized. It works the way it's supposed to, and that's really the goal, is to work the way you're supposed to. You know,
Are these the doctors that are spending their own money to test all this stuff?
there's
Or
a
is it another group of doctors?
no. This is a total. Two of our doctors are in the study, but there's 40 doctors around the country that are clinically testing the card that you have, and there'll be a published study, which will be really pretty cool.
So talk to us about that. A lot of people, they do their own studies. You guys don't do your own studies.
No,
It's all independently tested?
we get them independently tested, and you have to pay for labs to do it. Like you get the phone test was a lab. We had to pay them to do it. They did, a bunch of people, head goes up 1.55 degrees without a EMF shield. With it, it goes up 0.08. And then we can make the claim because it's legitimate. It's been tested in a lab. The Australia video is incredible because it was on live TV. They tested it. And that's the one that I love, with that picture. And they said, we don't know how it works, but it works,
Right.
Nobody knows how we do it. We just do it and it works.
Okay. So now I want you to explain how you got the frequency in this. You got the Schumann resonance 7.83 in this, not how you did it, like so that people can rip you off of your technology.
Well, our path is pretty big. So it does, we can replicate sound, light, frequencies with big machines. That card's programmed for over 24 hours. All right.
Okay.
On big machines. And that's probably why one of the reasons our cards last such a long time and our products last a long time. We know what we're.
Most people don't program 24 hours.
How about for like 5 minutes?
So for how long do they work?
Not that long. Okay. I kid you not. We've talked to other people. We don't really tell anybody what we do. We'll never show anybody our machines. Michael made his own machines. Anyways,
So Michael created his own Nikola Tesla machines.
Yes, and he made it better, and he also added other frequency generators and can do things that nobody else can do. And there's one guy in Serbia that's as smart as Michael that can do some crazy things. And he's a friend of Michael's, and we've talked to him. But there's very few people in the world that can do what Michael does. And, we can program, like you and I were watching before, Dr. Y. Ching talking about nitro and how it was that, if Michael can reproduce arginine in the frequency of arginine, which just helps nitric oxide production, to give an example. So nitric oxide increases is really good for you because it's oxygenating the blood. It's just good.
Put them on.
Yeah, nitro. Yeah, here. It's, nitro. Very good.
I do put them on my legs when I ride my bike. I have a better bike ride.
Yeah. Yes. You can also, my wife ran a marathon. She had like 6 under her feet. She just put them right on her feet. Oh yeah. Each foot, she was layered with them. Anyways, nitric oxide, like, we're really good at this. Like, Michael can program numeric frequencies and a substance like arginine and probably some other cool things, which we'll never tell. But, we tell some of our secrets.
Okay, so before you go into that, I want you to explain how getting the frequencies of these essential oils, nitric oxide, all this stuff, how does that translate to taking the same thing as taking a pill?
All right. Let's start with essential oils. Essential oils like rosemary has a really high frequency, lavender. And a lot of people, we work with essential oil specialists and doctors that use essential oils. And you don't have to eat it. You don't have to ingest it. The body recognizes that frequency and it causes something. Like the sunlight produces, the sunlight, it has a frequency. It's not the light itself, it's the wave. And then you produce vitamin D3. It's the ultraviolet, that wave. And the neat thing about frequencies, if your body doesn't want it, it ignores it. So like if you're in the equator, you don't overproduce vitamin D3 because you're in the sun all the time. It just stops it. So with essential oils, same thing. You put it on the back of your neck or wherever, your body recognizes the frequency and you get the benefit. CBD is a frequency. All right. And you don't have to ingest it. You know, a wow tag is a frequency. All right. It's a botanical. We replicate many botanicals in wow. And it, you know the wow, right? You need that of all people.
I know. Oh my God. And I took it off. So I had a guy working on our fence with a neighbor, and our neighbor's like older, and he's not somebody I really want to piss off. Okay. So we hired this guy with a fence, and I'm at my daughter's booth. I'm helping her in a booth in Chicago. I'm not even in Austin. And they bust his pipe, okay, to a sprinkler. It's like going, and I'm pretty calm. Like I would have been, oh, don't worry, we'll have it taken care of. So I leave my wow tag and earthing tag in the booth so that I can let her. And she did sell more products when I started putting the earthing cards under everything.
Put the earthing card under something. After 4 hours, didn't sell. The earthing card was under it for 5 minutes. It sold.
Yeah. So anyway, so I left this additional stuff. So I walked out and I was communicating with my husband and the neighbor. And all of a sudden, I'm like anxious and nervous. And I go, what's wrong with me? I walk back and I go, oh, shit. I forgot to put the darn thing. I left it in here. So I put it on. I was instantly calm. I was like, oh my God, this thing works. You know, I'm taking it off. And I mean, I bathe with it. I wear it. I run with it. I ride my bike with it. I mean, the poor thing's probably dirtier than crap, except it takes a bath every day with me. So it's probably the only thing that keeps it clean. But anyway, I never take it off. And
no, you need a wow tag
either.
It's a botanical with many botanicals that are very good for you.
Okay, but hang on. You had another one that y'all had to quit selling because it was CBD frequency, which I know is in this one too. Okay. But that one had a marijuana leaf on it.
Yeah, that was.
So here I am wearing it. My daughter's like, and I forgot. I just thought, okay, one wow tag's good. What about two? Let me just put two on. Except that sometimes it would flip over and you'd see the leaf. And my daughter goes, oh, Mom, I've got to get a picture of you with that marijuana leaf. I'm like, oh, crap. It's like, and Bill's like, you shouldn't be wearing that. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Let me take it off.
Yeah. The funny story was, though, when you put the earthing card under the jewelry or whatever it was.
Sold instantly.
It sold. It's just, if you hold it, it feels good. Your body feels good. And, I don't know if you got the video with Dr. Wai Ching talking about quantum fields.
Well, we're actually going to play that. I did finally get it. So let me see if I can bring that on.
He said start at 237.
237. Whoa, I can't find that one.
I can't tell you. But anyways, while Dr. Wai Ching is a doctor we work with from Malaysia. Her family are the doctors to the royalty on the other side of the world for years, for like 100 years going back. And she is the doctor to royalty. And she got a hold of her, fell in love with it. She's an incredibly nice person. And she's all over the world. She constantly bebops everywhere. I talked to her in so many different countries. I don't even know where she is right now, but if you play this, she talks about quantum field. Let me explain it.
Oh yeah, he's saying at 237.
Yeah, well, you're looking for it. If you take 4 and put them in the 4 corners of your room, it creates a quantum vortex and a quantum field, and everything instantly feels good. Like I've had people do this in stores, purchases go up, and it's crazy. You can also run water over the card.
Okay, I want you to talk about the water because we have a problem with them putting them on top of the towers now. So
Yeah.
let's talk about what's going on with that.
Run water over the earthing card.
This
But
is it.
well, hold on. Let me just tell them this one. This
Okay.
is, you run water over the earthing card and into like 4 Scotch glasses, small glasses, and put them under the 4 corners of your bed. One of my best friends is an orthopedic surgeon for the U.S. ski team. And I was at his house one night at a party. And we were talking. His wife says he can't sleep for anything because he just can't sleep. So I said, come on, let's go upstairs. Get 4 glasses. We ran water over the card, 4 glasses, put it under. She calls me up the next morning. This is the first night I've ever seen him sleep. She didn't tell him what we did. We just did it. She goes, it was incredible. Dr. Joe, who we all love, does the same thing. He leaves the card in it, in the water. But if you ever have bad sleep, it creates a quantum field under your bed. You're in it, and it just makes you feel better. Your body functions better, and the quantum fields are kind of good for you.
Okay.
Do you have her there?
So let's see if I did find it. So but I don't know how I'm going to find.
Slide it over. Move the little cursor over.
I'm just going to play around with it then. Let's see. Okay. It doesn't give me name or numbers. So let's see what this.
I must say, I am so happy to have found you and RJ and your products that can help so many people, my clients, and I'm very grateful for that.
Is it ahead of that?
I don't know. Just let it go. She's wearing.
All right.
Now, how it works is that because we're emanating, these products are also emanating, which is frequency products, right? Or new frequency products. So they too are emanating frontwards and backwards and to the sides. So what happens is that as we also come together as people, and I can feel the energy actually coming from all of you here. There's so much love and so much openness and lots of smiling faces as I'm looking at the gallery. So we are also emanating and receiving, and the speaker can really feel the difference when people are actually listening or they're just, distracted. So we are actually in a field of information, knowledge, and that information is embedded in our bodies and in these products. So like this one, 7.83, we know that it is embedded with the 7.83, which is a balancing frequency of the earth. And a lot of us now, as with other times, we sometimes get imbalanced. So when we have this around us, it really balances us. And you know that my other tip is to put it on the lower Tantian. It just grounds us. Now, in a home or an office, I'm doing a lot of corporate consulting now, is that this in every corner of the room can make such a difference to the environment, as your friend found out. So just one, but even better if there are 2 or 3, and anywhere else in between. Because what actually happens, it starts to vortex out. And this, I thank Dr. Carlos Orozco, who wrote a book called Coherence. It's on Amazon. And he has done tests on these quantum fields through these energy devices. So it vortices, the vortexes goes into the center of the room, right? And it also bounces off. So it's always dynamic. But there is a way of this swirling, just like we swirl. When we swirl with love and joy, it goes out, it emanates to everybody else. So when we come into a space that has been intentionalized, either by a practitioner or with a product, people feel it. They feel the harmony. They feel the peace. They feel the inexplicable something there, a kind of a comfort level. And so this products bring comfort to people.
That's probably why they purchased the ring.
Yeah. She was wearing this. This is the tag. And just the EMF, we also make a tag, and it sits like right at the right
tag.
Well, you need the wild tag. I like the but the big thing that you got to understand is it harmonizes it. What does harmonize mean? It means your body works the way it's supposed to, and it fixes imbalances. And didn't you do in your room fork in your living room, and somebody came and visited you and wouldn't leave the room?
No, that was Carol Brown.
What
Carol
tell
Brown
that?
is in Canada. She's probably on the show. So Carol said, Carol Ann Brown said that she invited a friend over who was a very difficult friend. He was usually just kind of difficult emotionally in all ways. And he came over and she had put him in the four corners of her apartment and he didn't want to leave. He literally was calmer. He's like a different person. She says he didn't want to leave. So she said, all right, good night. She went to bed, got up the next morning. He was still there. He was all calm. This is a different person.
He came in miserable and left out balance. It just, that's exactly what she's describing. It creates a quantum field that people just feel good. And she knew somebody that also created it in the office, and sales went up and business went up. Tim Coleman's got it. Tim Coleman's a quantum energy practitioner we work at that's amazing. And he recommends, he has the toughest people in California that he gets, trauma patients and everything. But he also refers people to other people. And one of his patients came in and said, Doc, I feel so good in your office. I went to this guy that you sent. I felt like I was going to die in there. Like, I just felt miserable, but I feel so good here. Can I just sit here? And, and he's got one behind his chair. He's got an earthing card and a food card.
So I did that a long time ago. So I did the food. Well, actually, I have your energy and vitality card. And then below it, I have the earthing card taped to it.
Perfect.
And
See?
so, crap, with all the stuff I'm covering, all the help I can get.
I can't.
Oh, the sky is falling. Oh, well, let's just show this information now. Oh, look what we found. They're like killing us with all this stuff. Oh, we just figured it out. Life is good. I just figured out their nefarious plan that we're all learning.
Wow. Yeah, anyways, these are just some of the things you can do to help. You want your body to function the way it was made to be. Okay. Our body was not made to get hit with 25G signals, period. And anything you can do is going to help. All right. But the EMF, the card is amazing. And so is the necklace. I have it on it all the time. I have a problem. I give these away a lot. Okay. And I never give this away. So my is on all the time. So
and you're like, I'm speeding on my boat back to my island because I gave away my card. I still have the bag on, but I need a card too, just in case. It's psychological.
My office does that. They just ship them to me, and I just say, "Come on, quick! I need more." Anyways, so
all right, let's get to Tim Coleman here.
Let's not even talk about 5G. The 3G and 4G, even that alone, we're microwaving. Our body's getting microwaved.
When you have these devices that emit, so anything that is hooked up wirelessly, whether it be the LTE, the new 5G, which that takes it to a whole different level. That is exponentially more toxic than what we've been exposed to. And what that's doing to us is it's really taking our immune system down, to be honest with you. That's what it does. It hinders your immune functions drastically.
Okay, so I think that at that point it goes into
that was Dr.
more on the EMF shield. So we'll show that in a bit.
Okay.
So we're going to go to some questions, and then I want to lightly touch on the food freshness card because you all actually put a good package together for that as well. So, let me go to this now. So let me go to the disclaimer first.
Okay.
Okay. The following content, actually our following conversation, has not been evaluated by any regulatory authority and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And the reason I'm saying that for several reasons, but one of the main ones is because Victoria Foley has brought a comment that we can't answer because it's a medical issue. I've worn mine. She's talking about her card in her bra for the last couple of years, and I now am having other issues, BP issues. So I was wondering if they had something else too. So without mentioning any conditions, is there anything you have for that?
Yeah. A wild tag is common.
For that? Really?
A wild tag.
Well, is that because people get so stressed that their blood pressure goes up from stress?
A lot of times it's stress related, and it kind of goes hand in hand. Chronic stress just exasperates everything. So, like when you take away your wild tag, your stress level goes up. Your stress level goes up, your body just,
I thought that was me. I thought I was just calmer. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I thought I was doing better on my own.
Yeah, we're not allowed to. We're really lucky, I guess, at helping people, but we're not allowed to heal and fix anything. But we're really good. Anyways.
So Victoria also says, I tried adding nitro patches and it made me too anxious.
No, it's definitely a wow. No nitro, wow. Common.
Okay, and nitro increases blood flow, so that doesn't make any sense. You don't want to increase more blood flow.
It's anxiety, and I would just recommend wow. And with anything, if it doesn't work, take it off. I mean, that's the good thing about a frequency.
Well, that's right, because if you take a pill, you can't pull it out.
There's only one way to get rid of a pill. Either vomit it or it comes out the other end. That's it.
Well, you can't vomit it because you don't know it's not going to work till it's absorbed. At that point, you can't vomit anything.
Right. That's the good news is, with art, just take it off. If you ever, feel something's wrong, just take it off. We really don't have any issues though. So knock on wood, 10 years, we're doing pretty good.
Brenda, patches for your sinuses. Which ones is she talking about? She has chronic sinus issues.
Immunity.
Oh.
The immunity patch was our health, cold, and sinus patch. Then Dr. Stan said add ashwagandha and maca root, and it became. And we probably added zinc, and we added zinc and a few other things, in like 3 years ago when a problem came up to help the immune system. Vitamin A, B, C, D, zinc. That combination helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Dr. Mihalchea. When I played her,
yeah,
she talked about how the unvaxxed blood is just like the vaxxed blood because they're sticking nanotech in everything. They're sticking it in our food. They're sticking it in our air. They're sticking it in our water. They're sticking it everywhere. And one of the things she talked about was that the difference between those that actually got it versus not was that they are activated by the 4 frequency. And the reason I'm asking that is because of this next comment. Joe Lopez says, does the EMF card protect against 419 UT? My house was up to 800 UT.
It's going to help. It's going to help. We make EMF home units for another company that you actually plug into the wall. We manufacture for some other companies, but the card is going to protect you. If you need a quantum space, it's going to definitely, your body's going to function better and feel better. Your body's going to function better and feel better, like with anything.
So Joe, you're saying that it did help you, right? Yeah, so I think that, okay, well, I'll wait for your answer there. Let's go over to Rumble. Well, first Saturn says they unsubscribe me from your channel, and they do that, and then it's not in the algorithm. So is that Rumble that's unsubscribing you? I'm starting to kind of wonder a little bit about Rumble. Okay, Ricardo says phenomenal contact. People need to understand the negative effects. Thank you, Ricardo. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So let's go to, let me see where that is. Can't find the actual. Okay, so let's go to the food freshness card. So this is the food freshness card, guys. And it goes in the fridge. And actually, you can even wear it. It just hurts a little bit because it's like some hard plastic.
Just a little bit about the food freshness card. We're pretty
First,
proud.
tell us about Dr. Marie before we. No, okay. Talk about the food freshness card, and then we'll talk about Dr. Marie.
We're the inventors of the food freshness card. We won 14 international awards, including the biggest one. We won a gold medal Edison Award in New York City, and we're on the red carpet. We were in USA Today. We were focused on live TV with Stuart Varney and Sons, and it was really cool. This is a cool invention. It very simple. It keeps food fresher longer. Fruits, vegetables, and breads up to 50% longer. Put one in your fridge. It works incredible. You can see we've done live testing in laboratories, but we're in supermarkets, we're in schools, and they work. We are the inventors, so I'm pretty proud of our family. And this has been a mainstay for us. Everybody loves it. We sold 40,000 of them the day we were on Stuart Varney and Sons. Out of the 40,000, not one person returned it. How many times have you sold 40,000 of anything and not one person complained? Not one. Nobody's ever said it doesn't work. Ever. Is that all right? So that's we're pretty proud of that. Our quality control is amazing. My son Michael is amazing. And we program many different frequencies to inhibit mold and bacteria growth. So if you get a chance, if you go to Food Freshness Card, we have lab testing. Look at the tomatoes. The lab called us up and they said, we've never seen anything like it. They tested tomatoes, and on 30 days, one of them grew a stem, like on the card. The other ones are all mold projects, but this one had life. And this is what you're going to hear from Dr. Marie. We can also, besides our frequencies, we're really good at energy. And we have some secrets in there. And you're going to hear from Dr. Marie. She's a practitioner in Paris. She grows microgreens. She's incredibly, her patients love her. She's downtown Paris. And she's incredibly intelligent. And she got a hold of our food freshness card. And she's the one that told us that she took 5 of these and put them under her table, under the pad of her table where people work. And before she would work on them or talk to them, she would just have them lay down for 15 minutes on the table. She goes, half of the people were cured it was crazy. She goes, the energy coming off this card is amazing. We were bovine tested in Amsterdam. Somebody sent our card for energy testing. Just by running water over the card, it increased the bovine or energy of the life force 400%. And Marie does bovine testing, and she said, Rick, this is amazing, the energy coming off this card. RJ and I were at a trade show and for the food freshness card, and 2 ladies run up to us, and they're like stormtroopers, and they go, what are you doing? And we're like, we have the food card. They go, the energy coming off this booth was so strong, we just had to come right to you. They took their hand and put it on it. Then they went jibber jabber to each other. I go, what do you guys do? Well, we're Reiki masters. And we felt the energy. We beeline to your booth. Okay. We have to have it. We love it. But the energy coming off this booth, it does like a baseball bat. Wow. Anyway, so now you're going to hear from Dr. Marie. and she's really smart. But hear it from her, because if you can play it, that's pretty cool.
And then after some time, I took them at home because I have maybe 3 or 4 of them. I took them at home with me. And then I put my basil. When I come to the organic shop, I have my basil leaves, my parsley leaves, and I just put it on top. And after 3 days, it was very full of life. It was so strong. And after 1 week and a half, it starts blooming again. It gave us some lovely white flowers. We were like, what's going on? This never happened. So then we realized that, wow, there is something big with this thing. This is the first time that I put my basils in the bottle of water and I put it in the kitchen. And then after 1 week, it's giving some flowers. I never see that. So I took this very, very, very seriously. And I start just doing more testing, more experience, more, and it was always very, 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 I was happy. It was very beneficial.
And then she also talked about how people are energy vampires. So when you go to the store, you come home drained, and it's because people stole your energy because you had some and they had none. So
Yes.
she started wearing the food freshness card on her, and
she stuck it in.
Emanates out 3 feet.
She stuck it in her kids' backpacks. Both of the kids. She's got 2 little kids in school, and she put them both in the kids' backpacks. One day, one of the kids didn't have his backpack and felt weird. And she said, I know the problem. She also sits on one. She's got an electric car that she hates, but she puts it on top of there's a battery under her seat, and she knows it. And she's not a fan of it, but she sits on one. Anyways.
Well, she's the one that talked about putting one in her, what do you call it? Breaker box.
Yes.
And that her son was a complete different kid.
Yeah.
He was all polite and friendly, and he's a teenager, and she was shocked. And it's because she put it in the breaker box. I have one in my breaker box.
I have an earthing card taped in there too.
Well, I did that too. took me a while to accumulate enough, but now it's like out there too.
You can also take this, wrap it around.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't figured out where my water line is.
Okay, you gotta, in your house, we're right before your hot water heater. I've got a well, so I go before the compression tank, and you can see it. You take it and you duct tape it. Okay, so all the water in your house passes it. It's really good for you.
So the water's coming through the water heater?
Well, before your water heater, wherever, usually if you have a basement or someplace, your water in your house. Your water comes into your house. You should have
a heater's outside.
Okay, well,
is that not stupid?
Somewhere you gotta. If we did that, it would freeze. I mean,
well, we do have to cover it with towels at times. It's like, oh, it's gonna freeze. Well, better cover this darn thing up. I don't know why they did that.
Okay, that's pretty stupid, but okay.
No.
Sorry. Anyways, if they're inbound, everybody has an inbound water supply. Okay. If you do it, just take duct tape, wrap it around. It's really a good thing for the water.
All right. Well, I have to figure out where that is.
Good
now. Okay. So what Joe says, I was kicked off for a question. Joe says, will it protect his house against 419? His house was up to 800. He said his didn't last, but Joe, didn't we talk about how they're targeting you? So they've amped that up. I don't think that's really the card that's not working. If they amp it up, is there there's such a thing as targeted individuals. We know that it's all out there. So
you can also, they're putting 5G towers everywhere.
No, but
And
it's more than that with Joe. They're targeting him. They've got additional ways to actually. So the card was working for him, and it's now not working for him. So I don't think that's that the card's not working, because I've had mine for 2 years.
Yeah, no, that's our cards. I have this like 5 years old. It still works fine. This one says earthing, not EMF shield and earthing, and it's we can help people, but we can't stop everything.
Can't stop against that. But Joe, I have good news for you. I talked to Raylene about you last night, and she said she has freed many targeted individuals. So we need to connect you with her because she can help you. Okay. So I did get the video on the berries. So this is on the mixed berries with food freshness card, without food freshness card.
Yeah, you can see it on the right. This is the time lapse, and you'll see berries with it and without it, and the berries without the food freshness card.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
we print that. But did you know we also print that?
And there's ads. And Pepper, same thing. Do you have the bread?
It's probably going to go naturally onto that, because I think it just keeps scrolling through it.
Bread is
except
the
for darn commercials. Oh, there it is.
No, that's the little berries. Get to the bread if you can. It's so cool.
Okay.
If the lab took the same loaf of bread and just put it in 2 separate Ziploc bags, and they're testing it. And one of them,
Rob Silverman here, ACA Sports Council.
Okay, let's see.
He loves the food freshness card. If you go under food card bread.
Dr. Rob Silverman here.
Okay, so let me see how to get to it, because I know there's a way to get to it. Playlists.
Lab testing.
Lab testing time lapse. Oh, view full. Here we go.
This is the coolest one. Okay. Now watch the time lapse of bread. This is the same loaf of bread. 2 months. 3 months. Mold. 4 months. Mold project. 5 months. Same loaf of bread. 6 months. The lab's
card on your screens is created by a family-owned company based in Boston.
This is
the
pretty
company
cool.
claims this card can keep your food fresh for up to 50% longer. Joining us now is the Food Freshness Card president thereof, R.J. Hassler. R.J., okay, how does this work? What's in the card or on the card that keeps food fresh? Tell me.
That's a great question, Stuart. Essentially, the Food Freshness Card is a large hologram, but it gets its unique properties from our patented programming process. Now, without diving too deep into quantum physics and proprietary information, what we're doing is the card's programmed with the use of longitudinal electromagnetic waves. Now, when they're programmed into the card, they target specific strains of mold and bacteria growth, and it really slows them down. So the effect of that is it's significantly extending the shelf life of your fruits, vegetables, and breads.
Okay, and now hold on a second. How much does one of these cards cost?
We sell them for $75, and we guarantee them for 1 year.
So if I pay $75, put one of those in my fridge, it lasts for a year. It'll keep food 50% fresher, whatever, how you define it, for 1 year.
Yes, for fruits, vegetables, and breads. That is our claim. Yep.
Well, I use an open box of baking soda, Arm & Hammer baking soda. What's wrong with that?
Oh yeah. Oh, this is like the evolution of baking soda, except our product is actually targeting mold and bacteria strains and not really letting them grow. So it's kind of like an evolution, and it's really keeping your food fresh. And so you're able to eat the food.
You've got it's a proprietary system you've got built into the card, so you're not worried about knockoffs or competition.
That's kind of a great point, as we really don't, because the technology isn't out there yet. To even reverse engineer it, it hasn't been invented. So we're pretty excited. There's a lot of excitement happening. The Food Freshness Card, it's got a lot of action right now, and we're all pretty excited for it.
Hey, you're on the show. You're doing okay. How do I get one?
Thank you.
Okay, so
that was live. That's my boy, RJ.
RJ, you did good.
He did great. That's live on Stuart Varney on Fox News. I was actually on vacation on an island, and I was watching RJ, and I'm like, he did great. Anyways, we sold a lot of cards.
So that takes me to another point. When the food is being tossed around everywhere, it obviously picks up bad frequencies. So Dr. Marie talked about putting so I wash all my meat with the food freshness card, because I know that when they slaughtered that animal, it had a bunch of fear frequencies in it, and we consume those frequencies. So I wash all of my meat with that, chicken, beef, whatever, and then all the fruits.
Anything you can. Understand that all of our fruits and vegetables have water. Water picks up everything. Water, and our bodies are 70% water. So anywhere from 60 to 70, who you talk to. Water picks up frequencies more than anything. Dr. Emoto's pictures of the water are real. Like, water picks up frequencies. So your vegetables, as it's traveling on a truck someplace, is picking up frequencies. So like you've seen Susie and all of our doctors, they wash a lot of their fruits and vegetables in the food fresh card. They let it sit. It tastes better. I put one by my coffee pot. It kind of makes everything better.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking for the pictures. Let's see if there's any other questions. Victoria, your cards being over a year old doesn't mean it doesn't work. They just warranty it for a year. They work forever, as far as I'm concerned, unless you chew it, bite it, run over it. And I think you can even run over it, right? I mean, I know people have washed them through the washing machines and they still work. So they're still good, Victoria. They're still good. Right. They just have to say 1 year.
Correct.
Victoria,
okay, you answered.
Dang, all my cards are over a year old. No, so are mine. Mine are 2 years old, 2.5 years old. They're still working. So no, they still work.
This is one of the originals, because it doesn't have the CE from Europe. It doesn't have and it works.
10 years old.
You know, we're lucky.
10 years old.
Pardon?
It's 10 years old.
This has got to be like 6 or 7 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
So let's go back to the rest of that one video, and then we'll wrap up the show. And I'd like to have you on periodically so people can ask questions.
I'm happy to.
Okay, so let's go to, let's see. Okay, so this is going to go into the shield. Now, I'm going to go into the packages, and in the packages, are you still sold out on the shields as far as ordering them?
We have some. I think we opened it up for your people today.
Okay.
We have limited supply.
Okay, here
we The time is now to shield yourself and your loved ones from this silent killer. Introducing the EMF Shield, the only U.S. patented technology to offset the harmful effects of EMF. For over 10 years, millions of EMF shields have been sold exclusively through doctors and practitioners. Now it's available for you. Welcome to the innovative wellness company, a world leader in the EMF environment, Nature's Frequencies. A U.S.-based company that manufactures award-winning products under 6 U.S. patents, created exclusively to enrich the quality of our lives and those we deeply care about. Since 2013, Nature's Frequencies has won 14 major international awards, including the most coveted Gold Medal Edison Award, and been featured in USA Today, Fox News, and many media outlets for their amazing products. Never before in our history have we needed to guard our health as much as we do now. This device is based on science and a patented technology that is programmed to offset the negative effects of EMF. It's as simple as sticking the shield directly on your cell phone, tablets, computers, laptops, gaming systems, and any electrical Bluetooth or Wi-Fi device. Protecting yourself and your family has never been easier. Join the millions of happy people around the world that are being proactive with their health while offsetting the negative, harmful effects of EMF. We invite you to experience the original #1 EMF shield in the world. Order your EMF shield today. Contact Nature's Frequencies now.
Okay. So let's do this. And then I'll take you guys to the website. I'm going to show you the Patriot packages and then how to get there. You know, I had just figured this out. Hang on a second. Oh, okay. I figured it out. Let's see. I just figured it out with RJ right before the show. Okay, so they've created a couple of Patriot specials. They're automatically 34% off and 46% off. So, Victoria, you were saying you needed a wow tag. I had Rick and RJ create a package that includes that. So here's the interesting thing. If you go to I'll have the link in the description for those of you on Rumble. But if you go to shop.naturesfrequencies.com/PCP, if you make sure that you do discount 20, no matter what browser you're on, it doesn't matter if you're on the cookies or not. Go to catalog, and this is what RJ explained to me. I made him do the math because I was like, I kind of understand that better. So it's automatic. It's $8.95 for an EMF earthing card and an earthing tag, and they're throwing in free 24 nitric oxide patches, which you remember Dr. Mihal Chea said that nitric oxide was very important to what was happening to us. And then a package of free shields, 4 of them coming. However, with my discount code, it drops it to $475. But RJ said that if you subscribe like for patches, okay, and there's several different types of patches. You've got the, burn patches for appetite, I believe, balances for hormones. You've got immunity, which are the ones that were mentioned for sinuses. Nitric oxide, if you want to get your blood flowing. Renew is anti-aging. We'll talk about that next time. Relief, Desi has amazing stories on that one. Revive is for head discomfort. I don't know what word is not a medical term, but your head discomfort, whatever. This is not crazy, but this worked on me in New Mexico. I had a horrible headache. I went up there to help my daughter, and I had this horrible headache, and I went, well, let's see if these darn things work, because I never get head discomfort. And so I tried it, and it worked. Anyway, so when you subscribe to any of those packages, you get an additional 15% off. So this $595 dropped to $404 instead of $476 because it gave you an additional 15% off. Okay. Now, I had you guys put together something with the food freshness card and with the
wow tag.
Wow tag. And so this $795 drops to $675 if you subscribe to different patches or anything, actually. And then also the 20% brings that even lower, right? What does that bring? I didn't do the math, but you guys do the math. Otherwise, it would be you guys gonna have to wait on me to
make sure you use discount 20 in cap lock. Discounts all in caps.
Oh, hang on. Discounts all in caps. Wait, let me move this up. Okay.
Caps.
Okay, so we've got, so
You have-
675 is if you guys subscribe, but with the 20% off, that drops it to 540.
And just so they know, they get an earthing card, an earthing tag, a package of nitro, the 4 EMF shields. The card and the tag are huge. Like, you really want a card in your pocket, and you really want to wear a tag. Any way it can help you, it harmonizes your body. It just functions better. And you know, I haven't taken a drug in, I don't know, 5 years. Like, I don't take any drugs ever, but I'm healthy as an ox. Knock on wood. You know, our products work.
So if you don't subscribe and share, it ends up being, with my 20% off discount, do discount 20 all caps, it ends up being $636 without the additional 15% off. And that's $1,465 normally that you get for $636. That's unbelievable.
We made these special Patriot packages. We like your people. Anyway, we know we try.
Well, thank you. All right. So let's end the show here, and I will definitely have you on again, because and guys, you need to save your questions and actually maybe put them in the comments if we can see them later. We'll try. All right. Well, thank you, Rick.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.